how far do you think that we are from creating a AI profile, like basically a virtual assistant or like a maintenance body for the maintenance techs that can actually provide training, deliver training for them, and ask all the questions they might have instead of them having to go to like YouTube and do a search trying to find solutions for various problems.
As a trainer, Adrian, the answer is centuries. We'll never get there. Never, never, never.
I was planning to talk originally about the getting wrong data from AI. Because I mean, I've seen it myself. I was working on an AC about a year or two ago, and I was just stumped, and I couldn't find any particular data about what the issue. I couldn't even tell you what the problem was. Long story short, I used Snapchat's version of GPT or whatever you want to call it. 'Cause Snapchat has their own AI too, and it gave me some terrible information. That was originally what I was going to talk about, but I think you already touched on that a little bit.
Jason, I'll flip your question a little differently, kind of what we were just saying before. Forget about AI. What about just regular maintenance and not getting accurate data? Forget about AI. Well, I just want to pull a report. How many open work orders have I had historically? What kind of work orders am I dealing with? How do I know that that's accurate, right? I mean, John, it says here Johnny completed 37 work orders. He claims he completed 50.
Just to even touch on that, one of the properties I worked at when we used Yardi, and this is the only property I've ever worked at. When we actually did Yardi, they wanted all the data from when you walked in to walked out. They wanted every bit of that time you spent on that request actually on Yardi, and they would compile that data and pull up a report. But even then, to be completely honest, it wasn't always accurate. You'd walk in, they would start talking to you. Oh, hold on, let me get in this real quick. Getting accurate data is super difficult for guys who are running around with tools in their hands. They already have all this stuff on them.
It's still, again, maintenance is that thing that you're always going to need somebody to go fix the toilet. It's not going to fix itself. Again, you can get more efficient. You can reduce your turn times, turn units faster. That's really important. Will save you millions of dollars, right? You can close out work orders quicker. Also, really important, save you millions of dollars, both in resident retention and other direct or indirect savings there. But at the end of the day, unlike leasing, maintenance is something that the pipe will simply not fix itself. So that was the premise of our whole company, was really about that. And we've put a tremendous amount of focus on our technicians, right? That's our end users, right? So knowing that we're not going to replace them, how do we make them more efficient? And that's where we started thinking of AI and how that could help them. So a very basic way that we think that we've introduced is just the simple ability to be more strategic on how to assign work orders to technicians, right? And using AI to help with that, right? To help technicians operate more efficiently. So starting by, assigning work orders, obviously age of the work orders, but using AI to, obviously know that a priority work order should be assigned first, maybe trying to, group certain units together to make the technicians more efficient, looking at the skill level of each technician to make sure that the correct technician with the correct skill is being assigned to the correct work order. AppWork looks through everything that happened at that property at that day. They silo out the data into three sections: what's positive data, neutral data, negative data. Essentially, getting rid of the neutral data, no one cares about that. We then take the positive data and the negative data, we convert that into action, and then that action is essentially a sentence, and then we email those sentences to the property managers, maintenance supervisors, and obviously it's that goes up the chain as well, equally beneficial for those up the chain as well. AppWork has an insane amount of data. One of the very basic pieces of data that we have is we collect ratings and reviews from residents on completed work orders. Based off of that data, I could then use AI to automatically curate, think of it as a Spotify playlist for that technician. Hey, based on your performance, you should watch these 10 30-second videos, right? And that's where I think AI can really be used to help training. So you're not putting a technician who's an expert at HVAC through a really boring HVAC training that he already knows, maybe even better than the instructor. Right, you're giving him more curated training based on his performance. Right, we also have a concept in AppWork called callbacks. We know, this technician, they completed 55 HVAC work orders, but 25% of those were called back due to various reasons, and we even track the reasons why they were called back. So we can use that data to say, "Ooh, this guy needs an HVAC training," and within HVAC, based on the reasons for callback, these are the 5 HVAC videos I think he should watch. So that's where we see the future. Hopefully of training using AI, hopefully less than a century away.